Good Sunday evening. Thank you for stopping by Quilted Treasures and More, checking out what's on my crafting table. Just a quick rundown of some things that's been going on this week. I have been, of course, working on the Christmas stuff. So, been working on some door hangers for some folks to not only treat themselves for Christmas, but also to treat some others. So I don't get to share everything that comes across the table this time of year, just because we don't want to spoil any surprises. But we have been diligently doing Christmas across the table here this past week. Also got a chance to change gears and do some soup bowl cozies. Now, if you have no idea what a soup bowl cozy is, most of what you see on Quilted Treasures is door hangers and things that I have painted, but I also do some quilting stuff as well. Baby quilts, if you look through the photos, you'll see some baby quilts I've done. Also have done some memory bears and soup bowl cozies, which basically is just like an oven mitt that is fit for your bowl, so you don't burn your hands when you're eating all that wonderful hot chili and warm soup throughout the cold season. Also works well for ice cream in the summertime, just FYI, in case you wanted to know. That's my daughter's little contribution. She discovered it was really good for those cold bowls of ice cream during the summer, so we use them year round at my house. So what is on the crafting table tonight? Well, as I have talked about before, not everybody is into door hangers. Not everybody is from the South. Not everybody does monograms, and not everybody does door hangers. So we're going to be looking at something I've actually touched on before, but I'm going to add to tonight. So what is this crazy thing that I'm talking about? Well, it's a square piece of wood. That's what it is. It's actually a board that you can sit on a shelf or a coffee table, sofa table, piano, entertainment center, even in your kitchen. Even in your kitchen on the countertop, you can put it in a plate stand or display it on an easel. And this is what I call a seasonal board. And so what we do with a seasonal board is we have attachments. Now, if you've seen the truck that I've done, you know the truck has attachments and they can be changed out for different times of the year. Same is true for our seasonal boards. Now, this board that I've done, this is the one I showed once before on what's on my crafting table on Facebook. This one is simply a striped board. And I have not gone back and put the Velcro piece in the middle, but what you do is you put a piece of Velcro in the middle, and then you take your attachment, and there's Velcro on the back of it, and you just set it in the center. So here's what it would look like. The first one I ever did, I did a pumpkin, and so this is what the pumpkin turned out like. So that would be your fall. So you would attach it, display it all through the fall. Doesn't go on your door, just sits, welcomes your guests as they come into your home. So that's the one for fall, the pumpkin. And of course, you can do anything. I have acorns and leaves and little scarecrows, and so it could be any of that. But I did a pumpkin, so that's the pumpkin one. Now, I had done a little one to sit on a shelf long, pretty good ways back, and it was this pair of flip-flops. Well, after I started putting together the board, I was like, oh man, my flip-flops would look perfect on that. So these are the flip-flops that will get displayed during the summertime to celebrate summer. And then I wanted to show you this because this, of course, was the first board that I did, but I've done a second one. And the camera is wanting to make it look like it's not square, but kind of, I don't know, weird shaped. You see it kind of comes in at the top and at the bottom. It's actually a square board, I promise. It's the camera angle. But this is buffalo plaid, and the camera wants to make it all look nice and solid and dark. It's not. It's actually has that faded look. When I hold it up a little closer, you can see it. So this is buffalo plaid. So this is the latest one I've done. Now, I am working on this one to go on my buffalo plaid. And I haven't finished it because I have a couple of different ideas that I want to do with this one. And so I'm going to finish the green and get it nice and dark and even. But I am considering doing an actual bow rather than painting this bow. So that's why I haven't done anything here. And that way it would be even more three-dimensional. And I've considered getting, I know you've probably seen those little strands of lights that you can find at some of the little dollar stores. They don't light up. It's just like a little necklace or a little garland. It has the itty bitty, I mean like, you know, just tip of your finger type size Christmas lights. And so I've thought about stringing that across there and decorating it that way rather than it being all painted. So there's lots of things you can do with these little attachments. And actually how I came up with the attachments, there's, you may or may not have seen them. They're called porch signs. And a lot of them have welcome. Some of them have hey y'all. Some of them have, I think I saw one that just had home written on it. But it was leaned up against the porch area, the foyer or entryway next to the door. And a lot of times, especially in welcome, they'll take the O and they will make it an attachment. So you change it out and it is seasonal. So that's where the little smaller pieces came from, like the Christmas tree. I've actually done a large Christmas tree that's actually a door hanger, and this is just a smaller version of that door hanger. And that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm just going to put it in the middle, attach it with Velcro, put a strip here and a strip here, and voila, put it on an easel or a plate stand. All right, so what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight I am working on another attachment. Our little snowman. So we've got another snowman, but you know, you've got to think about Christmas is almost here, so what are we going to do come January? So some folks were thinking about and getting ready for Mardi Gras, and I actually have one of these. I have a Mardi Gras mask in this size that I was going to do, and I still may do it. But I have the snowman that we're going to work with tonight. So that's going to be our project tonight, is to work on the snowman. Those boards, by the way, are actually roughly 12 by 12. I won't say they're perfectly 12 by 12 because sometimes I get a little off in my measurements when I'm doing something like that. Now with my templates, I can trace and stay in the line. But when I'm working on something where I just cut, you know, down the middle, it may be slightly off. So we'll say roughly 12 by 12 board, and keep me in the clear on that one. All right, so here's our little snowman. Let's see what we're going to do with him first. I think I went ahead and coated him white, base coated him white. That way all the color, it'll help all the colors be nice and bold. But also, I wanted to go ahead and have his face part done white, so that way I could skip that part and just get to working on the other details of him. So we're going to start with our hat, I think. Hold on. Before I jump into this, let's start with his nose. We're going to start with his nose. A lot of times I don't always do this, but I think it's better to start with the lighter colors. Unless, of course, you're going to use a different brush for everything, which I have done in the past because I have jumped on and started and not paid attention to my colors, just working and getting things, you know, going. And I'm painting a darker color and then realize, oh, probably should have started with a lighter color. So we're going to start with the orange. Get him here in the middle. Try not to turn him too much so that way y'all can see what I'm doing. Start with the orange. We're going to go ahead and get his carrot nose done. Now I have done this like I've been doing with most of my blanks. Went ahead and outlined in the Sharpie marker so that way you're able to see it really well. Most of the time when I'm just working on a project, I don't put the Sharpie marker outlines. I just leave it with the graphite lines of where I traced out the pattern. Or chalk lines. Sometimes if I'm actually freehanding, I'll just use a piece of chalk and put chalk lines down. Alright, so it's going to take a couple of coats for our little carrot nose there. See if I can get away with cheating and going ahead and doing this. Sometimes with the colors, you have to give it a few minutes to dry. Otherwise, you end up pushing your paint around, and then you have a big bare spot. And then that requires extra work to get him covered. Alright, so there's our little carrot nose. Now, what I'm going to do next, I think. Let me think real quick. I think I'm going to go with the red because I'm going to give him red mittens. So we're going to take the red and we're going to go ahead and paint his mittens red. Now the red will require 2 coats. Most of the reds that I have used do. Sometimes 3. Just depends on how much paint the board decides to drink up. Yes, boards do get thirsty. Hope everyone's had a good week. It seems like things, even though we still have some restrictions in place and still have folks being cautious, it seems that this week was just a busy week. I don't know if it's just the thought that, you know, Christmas is coming and trying to get all that last minute stuff done, things ordered and taken care of. I know I've been out a couple of times around shopping places, and it is definitely busy out there. Alright, so part of this is his arm, so we're going to leave it white. So all of this one is not part of his mittens. So this part and this part here. This part is going to be more like if he had his hand folded up against his cheek. So that's why we have that line there. I'll probably try to do at some point a little bit of shading just to help that stand out a little bit. Or just to give it a little bit of variation. Let's see if I can go ahead and get a second coat on the red. And that way it'll be nice and dark and ready to go. Quick reminder, coming up this Thursday, that's the deadline for Christmas orders. I've posted a couple of things about that. But this Thursday, December 10th, will be the Christmas deadline. That way I have time to get things cut out and get things finished up and delivered before everybody needs to open their packages. But also it gives me time to finish doing my Christmas stuff too. I'm not going to say that, you know, I'll be out Christmas Eve, but I may be sitting up late one night clicking a lot of order nows. All right, so next on our list, we're going to go with the green. I'm going to do a green band around his hat here. So we're going to go green. Go green, that's funny. We're going to go green and get our band on the hat. Some nights I pick colors when I'm doing this, or some evenings I pick colors when I'm doing this, and one, maybe 2 coats, and that's it. But it seems that I have hit the jackpot tonight on colors that are going to require 2 or 3 coats. This is the same green that I used on the Christmas tree that I was showing y'all, this little Christmas tree. So that is 1 coat. So you can see how it still has white shining through. So I've still got to get another coat on that one. And there's a lot of different attachments that you can do with these boards. I've only shown a few. Of course, the pumpkin for fall. And then the flip-flops, like I said, I actually did those just to sit in my kitchen. But it'll go nice on the board too, so. Also want to do what they call the faux shiplap board and see what it looks like. All right, the hat, I'm going to do navy blue. I was going to do it black, but then I was like, no, I want the frames of the glasses to be black. So we're going to go with navy blue on the hat. Speaking of Christmas and all, just wanted to let y'all know that with paint party boxes, of course I've been working those in just groups. Take a group of orders at a time and then open it back up for more orders. I am coming down to the last few boxes, and what I mean by that is when I set up what was going to be in the box, I ordered a certain quantity. And so when the quantity of stuff runs out, of course, then I can't do any more of those boxes without ordering more stuff. And of course, it's too late in the season now to order most of the things that I had in that box. So, not the wood, of course, because I cut out the wood, and so those templates I can always cut out. But as far as the stuff that made the box, the paint party box, the extras, the goodies, I had a limited supply of those. So I have a few boxes available. Paint party boxes are $20. And you get the door hanger blank. You get a couple of party favors. I included with this one a few brushes. I do not include paint. And some of you are thinking, you've already been over this. Yes, but we've got some new folks that have joined, so I wanted to explain. I don't include paint, simply because with everything going on since the spring and the virus and stuff, paint supplies have been a little low at times, and so sometimes you just have to substitute and make do. But I've had some challenges in getting large quantities of paint. I'm hoping in the future that I can include paint in the paint party boxes, But also by not including paint, it gives you the option to do colors that you like or colors that would work well with your decor in your home. So on one hand, it's really cool to have the paints, and on the other hand, it gives you the freedom to adjust colors if you'd like to go with something different. But as I said, a few paint party boxes available, and those are $20. And I'm currently working on a paint party box for January. And I will be revealing that after the new year and opening it up for orders. Also, we'll be getting back to online paint parties in the new year. And I can do in-person paint parties. That's just been one of those things where with different restrictions and stuff that have been put in place, in-person paint parties have been kind of put on hold, I guess. People just being cautious. But there are some folks that do a limited number and space out. You know, not literally space out, but give themselves plenty of room between everybody. So yes, in-person paint parties are possible. We just like to limit the number and make sure everybody is, you know, health conscious. All right, so now we are going to work on the eyes, the frames, and the mouth. For this, I'm going to need a smaller brush. Don't want to get too small, otherwise I end up with an awful lot of brush strokes. But I don't want to be too large either, otherwise it's going to be a challenge getting into some of the areas. All right, we're going to go with a 4 and see how this works. And this is just a flat tip brush. I have flat tips, I have filbert tips, I have round, all different sizes. But it's funny how even though I have all different sizes, I have certain ones that I use over and over and over. I've noticed with the round tip brush, a lot of times I will use the number 4 size brush a lot. Just working around and getting his glasses filled in. His glass frames. Flat tip brush might not be the best choice for doing the eyes. I like, a lot of times if I'm doing something that has a circle, I'll use the filbert tip. And the reason why I say that, filbert tip is not flat across the end of it. The brush itself is flat, but at the tip end it's actually curved, and so it actually makes getting around these circles a lot easier. It goes a lot faster. May have to adjust this eye just a little because I have to go back and look at my template for this one. That eye doesn't look right, or this one doesn't look right. One of the two. One of them is off. Now I don't have much to do here with the mouth because I had already done it with the Sharpie marker for the most part. But what I'll do is I'll take my paint pen and I'll go back over the mouth, so that way it'll be done in paint and not just in the Sharpie marker. Sometimes when you use the markers, the Sharpie markers, and you go to seal coat it, and no, because this is a inside decoration, you don't have to seal coat it. I like to seal coat them just because it adds protection to the paint from, you know, being dropped or something rubbing up against it. Then you don't look one day and go, oh man, there's a whole chunk of paint missing. So I still like to seal coat them even if they're going to be indoors, and that's for that reason, just to make sure that there's a little extra layer of protection on the paint. All right, so there is our snowman. Now, if you notice the green and the blue, I think they're dry. I can go ahead and start a second coat on them. The red looks pretty good. I have one little place here and probably there that I might touch up a little bit. And I don't know, I may have to get just a little bit more red. We're going to go back over it one more time. Just so that way the colors will be nice and bold. And again, the attachments and stuff, you know, you can have them where they match your decor. If your Christmas decorations are more along the lines of silver and gold, do his hat in gold, a silver band, and give him maybe gold. Give him gold mittens, or you could always use blue mittens. I started to go with blue mittens, but I could not find, I wanted to do a purple band, and I didn't, just wasn't happy with my purple colors going with the blue that I chose. So, you know what, we're just going to do this in a some bold colors, some primary looking colors. Of course, the blue's not a primary, but it's navy, but we just went for the bright bold look for this snowman. I'm going to do his carrot nose once again. Smooth it out just a little more. It was pretty smooth, but one more time. And then I'm going to go back and get the green band, because it needs a second coat. It has quite a few little places where the paint is not smooth. You can see the white paint showing underneath it. Sometimes on certain parts of the of what I'm working on, the light hits it in such a way that I can't really see if it's smooth or not, and so a lot of times I'll check the camera shot to see what it looks like. I think I hear rain again on the roof. We actually had some rain here a little bit ago. I was like, oh, wow. Ah, it is. Oh, it's raining pretty good out there. Our grass needed some rain. It was beginning to look like typical winter grass, brown and dried out. Alright, so just going to finish up the hat here. Thank y'all so much for spreading the love for the Quilted Treasures page. I appreciate y'all doing that. We've gained some new folks this week. So welcome to all our new followers. So glad you joined us. Our little community here. Alright, I don't think the black needs to be gone over again. I was looking at it. All I'm going to do is take my paint pen and go over his... That's the skinny one. I don't want the skinny one. I want the bigger one. There we go. And take the paint pen and go over his mouth. I got to figure out about his eyes. I don't know what happened. I think this one I drew too big. I may have to make this one a little bigger just to make them match up a little better. Things like that bother me. I don't know why. They just do. He's looking cute. Thank you, Miss Marie. He's kind of my bold little snowman. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and run around the outline for the mittens here. Outline his nose. And basically what I'm doing is just taking a paint pen and I am going over the Sharpie lines. Sometimes some markers don't do real well when you spray the seal coat. They have a tendency to maybe bleed. So that's why I go back over and try to cover what I can with the, it's still a little wet. I don't want to go over that just yet. Let that dry just a little bit more. So I can run around the arm part while I'm waiting on that. I don't know, I had talked about doing some shading. I may do just a little bit faintly just to separate the glove part from the hand part, because he's actually kind of like this with his glove or his mitten. So I may go back and do that. We'll see. Still see a little bit of a shine. Let's see. I might can get this through here. I'll know real quick because I can feel it. I can feel it like bogged down in the wet paint if it's not quite to a point where you can run it through. It's doing just a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and I don't think it's enough to actually get, no, it's not actually getting on my paint pen, so I'm gonna spin him around. Sometimes I work better when I'm close rather than on the other side of. I have this little Lazy Susan and I use it a lot when I'm working on orders and stuff. Alright, so there is our little snowman. And what I'll probably do, I'm going to let this finish drying before I add any of the white accents. Just because I don't want to get navy blue on my white paint pen. So kind of makes it hard to clean up sometimes. Alright, so there's our little snowman for our board attachment. Again, I've done a couple of them. This one is the buffalo plaid one that I have finished up recently. And so this is one that I've done. And then this one I did some months back. And it's simply a stripe. You could do it either way. I said it that way, but you could go either way with those. And there's lots of things that, this is actually a door hanger, a full-size door hanger pattern. And I just shrunk it down in order to be used on the seasonal board. And again, seasonal boards are simply an option for those who don't do door hangers. Because like I said, not everybody is into the monograms and not everybody is into decorating their door every season. I actually have taken spurts where I didn't really decorate, change out things much on my door between seasons. I had one that I kept on there almost all year round. Christmas has been the big time of year for me that I decorate the door, but not everybody does door hangers. Not everybody does decorating of the front porch and all. So this is another option because this is indoors. So this is something you could put on a shelf or a bookcase, bookshelf, coffee table, sofa table, entertainment center. So all those wonderful places that we stack all of our knickknacks and whatnots and photos and things like that. So this is a seasonal board that you can use in those areas, even in your kitchen. So matter of fact, I recently got a new template packet. I don't have it where I can show you right now, but I need to post a picture of it. I actually got the cutest thing for a kitchen that has utensils. I was like, man, that would make a really cool pantry door hanger. So door hangers are not just for the front door. So I've done some things for nurseries, for baby nurseries, and for kids' doors. So door hangers are pretty much versatile and can go in many places and can be resized, as you can see here. This can actually be a full-size door hanger and put on your front door, or it can be shrunk down and put on a seasonal board. So I'm gonna move that so you can see his hat. So. All right, well, just remember a couple of things just to touch on real quick. Remember this Thursday, December 10th, that's the last day for Christmas orders. So that way I'll have time to get them done and meet up or deliver them to you, whichever the case may be, or ship them out. December 10th will definitely be one of the close close dates for shipping anything. So especially as we get closer and closer to Christmas, those shipping possibilities are going to get slimmer and slimmer. Or if you want it before Christmas, as you get closer and closer, of course you end up paying more because you have to do the quick delivery, express delivery. Keep in mind, as I said, a few paint party boxes left, almost out of the quantities of things that I ordered to go in those boxes. So a few left, and those are still available. I have fulfilled all the orders that I had to this point, so I do have some slots open, but supplies are limited. So when the extra stuff is gone, then that's the end of the 2020 Paint Party Christmas Edition boxes. And thank y'all so much for all of your support in the Paint Party boxes. And again, I'm working on designing one that I will be telling you about in the new year, come January. So we will have another option for those. Thank you so much for spreading the love for Quilted Treasures and More for the page here. And just a quick reminder, we're also on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel. So these videos that I do, the Facebook Lives, I actually end up uploading them onto YouTube. So have a YouTube channel as well. The things you do nowadays in social media, it just kind of, I have learned a lot within the last few months on editing videos and uploading videos. And I was doing good to be on Facebook. And so now I've added Instagram, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, all this different stuff to, and I guess that's why I never did get on Instagram, because it was one more thing to have to work with and remember and learn. So, but that's okay. We like sharing everything that we're doing here. We love sharing the ideas that you have, and we love sharing the orders that you order, letting everybody else see what kind of cool door hangers are out and about in the community. And I appreciate y'all very much for your support for Quilted Treasures and for me. Well, I hope you have a great week. And again, Thursday, December 10th, that's the final day for orders to be put in order to get them in time for Christmas. See you again soon.